How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Master Beer Reviews. Back to another review. A little bit of funky time. A little bit of green bottled cap and cork time. Fancy time. In the form of Odd Breed. I don't want to say brewing. Odd Breed Wild Ales. Maybe go that way. Blendery. In the form of their 3Y2 or Tres Dos Wild Ale. Yeah. Odd Breed. Never had anything from these guys before, but I was lucky enough to get 2 bottles. This is one of them. The other one I already reviewed, and I got it from King Ralph. He sent me off a bunch of beers from down Florida way. That's where these guys are located, and yeah, kind of excited. So let's dive in. As far as what it says on here, it says Odd Breed Wild Ales, Tres Dos American Wild Ale. What's the ABV? 5.5, and over here. This collaboration with our dear friends at 26 Degrees is a wild amber ale brewed with a hefty amount of rye and a touch of caramel malts. Aging for 10 months in heavy toasted French oak puncheons that previously held red wine from Napa Valley gives this beer prominent oak character. Aromas of caramelized tropical fruit and toasted malt lead to flavors of spicy rye, vanilla with a tart red wine finish. 5.5% alcohol by volume. Done. So it's 26 Degrees Brewing and Odd Breed Wild Ales. I'm trying to see 3Y2. Trying to find a connection. No label. I don't. It's a domino. It's cool. I dig it. I like it. Texture's cool. Fun and fun. So here we go. Pop that cap off. When I popped the last cap off, this cork was kind of sunken. And the other one, and there was some fluid up top. So, yeah, I don't know what they're doing fill-wise. I don't know. I've never really gotten that out of these kind of green bottled Captain Cork deals. So, anyway, let's see what this sucker has. I'm going to give you the old tilted pour so we don't get the head that 9 miles big. Sometimes I do the right thing. Maybe not. Maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. Maybe this needs to be decanted. Fancy words, decanting. Anyway, yeah, what do we have here? Finger and a half, rocky, gravity-defying head. It's weird. It's kind of large bubbles over here, tight ones over there. It's just all over the place. Very kind of wild ale-ish. Nice kind of sprightly, kind of champagne-like carbonation tied to a kind of, for lack of a better term, kind of iced tea colored body to it. So, what does she look like? Looks like a lot of different beers, but she definitely looks like a wild ale. Could look like pretty much anything. Let's see what the nose has. Definitely getting that red wine vibe out of this. I'm getting kind of a tart, acidic red wine. They talked about using a rye malt in there, and I can get that. There's a little bit of spiciness in there. Is that coming from the yeast? Is it coming from the rye? I don't know, but I'm getting kind of a rye-esque spiciness with a nice kind of red wine barrel, kind of tart acidity to it. Very nice vinousness to it. That's pretty much it. There's more to it. There's, a little bit of oak in there, a little bit of soft vanilla. There's a little bit of kind of that little bit of toasted oak, too. On top of that, just kind of more whiter oak. There's that little bit of kind of fruitiness in there outside of that kind of grapiness, but those are the 2 big components that really kind of stare at me. But I'll tell you this, I want to drink it. Cheers. That's tasty. I need to process it a little bit more. I like it. I like it. I just feel like the beer, which is nice, it's very small, it's very tidy, it's very tiny. I feel like it's getting lost in the barrel and in the wine. The beer is thin. Not something I'm usually gonna bang too much on when it comes to these kind of spontaneously fermented kind of wild ales. It's a small beer to begin with, so they can come off a little bit thinner at times. It's not a big deal. It's just when it's up against this kind of barrel in this kind of wine, I feel like it's not hefty enough. It's not big enough. It's not robust enough to kind of hold its own. So while it's tasty, it comes off very thin. And almost like a watered down kind of vibe. Again, it's nice. I'm getting a big, hefty portion of that red wine. Almost like a watered down mustiness. I'm getting that dry oak. Hearing me kind of smack my palate here. It's not because of hops or anything like that. It's that oak tannin is very dry. I'm getting a bit of toast off of that oak too. Those are by far and away the three biggest components. After that, there's just really not much beer there. You're getting a little bit of tartness, a little bit of I don't even go acidity. I think it's all coming from the wine. But it's just the beer is just much, much too small for the barrel they put it in. It's tasty though. It is. It's tasty. It's tasty in a way that you're kind of getting like almost like a white wine spritzer mimosa kind of thing going on in the morning with it. Except it's just, I want the beer to be a little bit bigger, the wine barrel to be a little bit smaller, to let this kind of be a bit more balanced. And that's it. I mean, it's tasty, it's fun, I like it, I enjoy it. It just is an imbalance between the barrel and the beer. Still nicely made. A little bit of kind of earthiness to it too. I guess that's that rye kind of coming through, that little bit of spicy rye. And I guess that's what it is that I want that rye to be a little bit bigger to hold up to that vintageness, and it's just not there. It just comes off with this kind of slightly spicy earthiness. I thought it'd be a little bit bigger. When you think of rye beers, you don't think of something that small. That's kind of where it's coming off for me. Age. The great equalizer. I don't know what age would do to this. Kind of curious to find out. So I'll have to do this. I'll have to wait about 2-3 years, and I'm going to have to fly down to Florida, steal one of Ralph's, and drink it with him. And then we'll figure out what's what a couple years down the road. But yeah, it's a nice beer. It's fine beer. It just doesn't blow me away. And I think there's a bit of imbalance between the beer itself and the barrel. Let's talk about it. Is it one of the better wild ales I've had as of late? No, but it's tasty and fun. It's not a negative thing. It's just a matter of the balance thing. Value and availability, don't know. Maybe Ralph can chime in on that and let us know. And leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you want to know about balance when it comes to beer. Again, like I said, age might change this in some way. But the way this sits now, if you want to know if a beer's too small and a barrel's too big, this is kind of a very kind of textbooky version of that. At least for me. Not that I want these beers, these kind of wild, spontaneously fermented beers to be gigantic ABV beers. They're never really going to be that. It's just a matter of wanting a bit of balance when things are so delicate like this beer is and whatnot. It can get a little bit easy for a barrel to kind of take over, and that's the case here. It ends up being a tasty thing because I like the way the wine barrel's coming off. I just think there's too much of it for the beer that was involved. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. If you want to check me out on the social medias, posting pictures and ramblings and stuff. Massive Beers, type that into Google. On the other end of things, type Beer Massif, Massif into Google. See me doing burn interviews, opinion pieces, roundtables, all that kind of fun stuff. And there you go. Another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice Florida-born wild ale right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.